Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's Anykinemedia. We are your hosts. My name is Ocean Sevilla.
I'm Taylor Vera.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. After a little bit of a hiatus, just a week. I was on a trip.
Not his favorite rocket ship.
But we're back to you guys. Oh, found the trip. And we're gonna bring to you guys an update on Andor, the original TV show produced by Disney Plus and Lucasfilm. We are on, this upcoming week will be episode 6. We're going to give you guys a breakdown of episode 4 and 5. Again, 2 episodes because I was gone last week, so we weren't able to record. But a lot of content coming your way. I don't know. For me, these 2 episodes pick up the story quite a bit, so got some stuff to talk about. We'll do it in traditional fashion as always. Talk about it spoiler-free first. Give it a quick score, and then dive into spoilers. So, without further ado, we'll start with the spoiler-free section. Like I said, I feel like I know one of your biggest complaints about episode 1 and 2 was that it was like super slow, it was boring, and there's a lot of like repeated things, right? And I feel like for episode 4 and 5, it progresses the story quite a bit and actually leaves some holes that I'm waiting to be filled and raises a lot of questions, I guess. We also get introduced to some new characters. So I enjoyed them. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were bad at all.
No, yeah, they weren't bad at all. I still don't think the, I guess, pacing of Cassian's story in particular is moving very fast. I did enjoy, because I think 4 focused more on the I still can't remember their name, but the like corporal core or whatever.
Oh, the corpos.
Yeah, the other corporation people. Which I actually really enjoy that side of the story with the Empire side. It's almost like I feel like that could be a side thing, because it's like a.
I 100% agree. This is something that I wanted to talk about, and I'll talk about it briefly now without giving any spoilers. But like, I enjoy the deeper look into the inner workings of the Empire and how, just the way that their hierarchy works, the way that they're...
Yeah, it's almost like if you took a regular, I guess like, almost like Law and Order, but like for the Empire.
Yeah.
Sort of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an unusual idea, but like seeing it shown for the Empire, it just makes it interesting enough because we've never seen it before. And it makes them feel, I guess more human, I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%. It definitely paints the Empire in a different light, right? As we know it, the Empire is just this conglomeration of people that are just evil, right? Yeah. And that's what we've known the Empire to be throughout majority of Star Wars. But now they're starting to shine a spotlight on certain aspects of the Empire and show us the people behind those particular spots.
Right.
And it, like you said, it humanizes the Empire more and makes us, I still don't like it, obviously, but I still don't like the Empire, but it makes you think about it more. It makes you...
I mean...
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, hell, the Empire.
It just makes you understand a little bit more about what the Empire is doing and the people behind it.
Yeah, I like it because it almost relates to real life examples
100%.
that most people don't pay attention to, I guess, and for not necessarily bad reasons, and I don't really want to use examples because I don't want to make it so controversial, but there is definitely some real life versions of like this going on, and it's just cool to see it in a different light. And as far as episode 5 goes, I think it focused a lot on Cassian's side,
Right.
which, again, it's good, and I like where it leaves off, but it still feels kind of stretched. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not hating it or anything,
Yeah.
but it just feels a little
What it
stretched.
feels like for me is that they're slow rolling Cassian storyline to allow the other storylines to catch up. Because in episode 4, I think is the first time that we get introduced to the senator right here, right? The
Yeah.
senator as well as the lieutenant. I don't remember her name, but those are the first times we're introduced to them, and they're trying to. Right, here we go. This is the senator, and this is the lieutenant. Right,
Yeah.
so they're. What it feels like for me is they're slow rolling Cassian storyline to allow for these other storylines to cement themselves, build, and then all converge at once. Whether or not that's going to happen is another argument to be made, because Disney doesn't really have the best track record with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm guessing is happening here. So
Yeah, I mean, I could see that for sure. And
hold on. Before I feel like we're edging near the cliff of spoilers. So
Yeah. Okay.
let's throw a score out real quick, and then we'll dive into spoilers so we don't have to tiptoe around things. For me, I think I gave it a 7. Right, the initial impressions. I think I gave a 7.
I can't remember. to be
I'm
honest.
pretty sure, because I think you gave it a 6. And I'm gonna stick with a 7. I don't think it improved really at all, but I don't think it got any worse. I think it kind of just staying where it's at. And I see more potential for it to be better in the future. But for now, for me, it's still a 7.
I think I'm gonna stay with my 6. I was
Stay
gonna
with your
say
6.
7, but I don't know how the next episodes are gonna be, because it kind of I feel like I know the direction they're trying to go to as far as the next episode, and so yeah, I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. Yeah, I like I said, I like there's some certain things that I'm excited to see, and there's some things that they've kind of teased a little bit in their storyline so far that could potentially be pretty cool. So I'm excited, but I'm a little cautious. So luckily we still have 7 more episodes, right? We have 7 more episodes, so there's still some time for them to, do something. But we'll see. All right, that's your score, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't seen the first 5 episodes of Andor, I recommend giving it a watch. It's an easy watch. They're shorter episodes. I think 4 and 5 are a little bit longer. I think they're like 45 minutes or so. But I recommend that you guys give it a watch. It's a good casual watch.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't really have to know anything either. Like some Star Wars, you got to know certain characters or whatever in order to kind of be able to track. But this is all new to everybody, so you don't really have to know anything. So enjoy it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to dive into spoilers. So this is your official.
Spoiler alert.
Okay. So yeah, new storylines, right? Some I don't want to say unexpected, but just specifically, let's start off with Luthen, right? Dude just transformed in his shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, he plays like a
Yeah, and it's not surprising, but I can't say that I was expecting him to have a alternate life, I guess. You know what I mean? But it makes sense.
Yeah,
that
I
he
mean,
would.
I don't know. This whole time, it felt to me like, this is Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You're a double agent, and now you're swapping to your other character, and then he just transforms, and this is his other side.
I think it's cool, and I don't know, I like the way that they do it, like visually. You see him get dressed, you see him put on his wig, you see him like get into character, and it just like for me, I like those kinds of things because to me it adds depth. It's different if it's just one scene. He's Luther in the talent finder, and then the next scene he's this Luther in the museum owner or whatever it is.
It's like some kind of private art.
Yeah, it's like
collector.
he's like, what is it called? Art not collector, but whatever.
Dealer. I don't know.
Sure, something like that. But I like that they showed him transforming because it adds depth. You can clearly tell that like he's having to get into character and become someone else.
Yeah.
And I think that'll play later on. And it also oh jeez. Sorry, guys.
Calling himself.
Give me 1 second, make sure nothing is on fire. But it's to me it's a contrast to Andor, right? Andor is who he is and doesn't change. And I don't know. I like those kinds of juxtaposed storylines. So I like it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely really cool. Stellan's awesome. He's been great as Luthen. He's
Stellan
definitely
is-
one of the like, I guess, talents like shining through, just like Diego Luna as Andor. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was super good. I believe this was only in 4, right? Or did it kind of touch in 5? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't 5 because there's that scene.
I do
of
remember
him
there was
and-
a cool shot when they were talking, when she first enters the store and they like secretly like, oh, let's go to the back.
yeah.
And then I was mostly just looking at the things in the background.
Yeah.
And there's some really cool like decorations or whatever he has on display, and you can literally see Mando's armor just sitting on the side.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Really? Well, Mando is supposed to be because Mando is supposed to be after episode 9. Right?
I don't think it's supposed to be like.
Mando's armor. You see a Mandalorian.
Well,
armor.
it looks like Mando's armor, but I think it's just meant to be like a Easter egg kind of thing. Of
okay.
There's Mando's armor, but it is Mandalorian armor. But like the design of it, just Beskar is Beskar,
Yeah,
so
Beskar,
it just looks the same. It's not painted or anything, but it was sitting on the side on a display. And I was like, oh, why is there Mandalorian armor there? They don't ever like mention it. And
Yeah,
like I said, it's just a side Easter egg thing. There was some few other armor and weapons that I noticed that seemed familiar, but I couldn't tell you where it was from.
Yeah, I missed that. Oh,
But
dang.
it was just little details I noticed when they were walking through the store.
That's cool. I missed
But
that.
yeah, so this
Character, do you remember what is her name?
the
You
senator,
have, yeah, the senator.
Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma. Okay, so she's a senator. I don't remember for what planet she's a senator for.
Yeah, I don't remember. I do remember her husband is an asshole,
Yeah, what the hell?
which is not really surprising. You know what he reminds me of is that one dude in C that contractually marries what's her face.
Oh,
I mean, he actually started off as an asshole and then
And then
slowly
got
changed.
better,
But this
yeah.
is like the beginning.
this
So-
dude is her husband. He's I don't know what he is. I don't think they've said whether he's like a senator or something. Or,
I mean, he's got to be something
yeah.
of importance.
But like he throws a party and invites these people that like
hates.
hate her and she hates, and it's just like, dude, why are you doing that? And then There's another scene of them at the breakfast table and her daughter is
Dude,
giving her lip, dude.
Oh man.
Huh. It's a good thing. It's a good thing they don't make Polynesian families in Star Wars because if
That
that was me, I would have slapped the shit out of her.
Yeah, that would not
what?
have
Get your goddamn coat. Get your ass to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the dad was just sitting there. The
Didn't
entire
say
time.
anything.
Didn't say a single thing. Even when she asked him for help too. Like I don't know. It's just shitty. But she is a senator in the Republic, and she is, or I guess senator. Is it still? It's not the Republic because the Empire took over already,
Yeah.
right? So she's a senator in the Empire's Senate.
Yeah.
I am the Senate. But but she's also undercover. She is a
Yeah,
rebel.
she's another double agent.
Yeah. And I feel for her. She's super conflicted because she seems like she's losing her family. And
Sounds like she never had one to begin with, apparently.
and the people around her are starting to like notice certain things that she's doing in order to help the rebellion. But something that she says that really intrigued me, and I don't know if you picked up on it or if anybody picked up on it or if it's just meaningless, but in this scene where she is with Luthen at his shop or whatever it is, she tells him that she's struggling with being able to, move around money because it seems like she's the funding source for part of the rebellion, at least, right? Or at least for Luthen's operations. And she says that she's thinking about bringing in another senator that in on their little rebellion circle, right? And Luthen is apprehensive and kind of turned off to the idea at first. And then when she's leaving, he kind of speaks in code to let her know, like, hey, I trust you if you do what you need to do, kind of thing. But to me, my thought is Senator Morgana, right? Like that. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be, or if I'm just reading too much into things. But when she said that, that's what came to my mind.
Yeah, that would definitely be a cool tie-in.
Yeah,
sure.
and it's time appropriate, right? It's right before the events of episode 4, and so I don't know. I think it'd be really cool if that's what we saw, or if that's what became of that. But if not, whatever. It's just me guessing, I guess.
I don't remember certain details of that episode, so
Yeah.
but that definitely would be cool though. I did want to say too, her car is
It's dope.
insane.
It's dope.
That was one of the coolest shifts that they've had in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not like a fighter or anything,
No,
but it's
it's
just
just
like
a-
a transport.
Yeah,
But
it's like
it
a
looks
luxury.
classy.
Yeah, it's like a luxury vehicle. Looks like a futuristic, like Rolls Royce kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm interested to see what becomes of her storyline. I think obviously it's going to play a key part, but all right, let's dive into this chick. So this is Lieutenant something.
Let me see.
Taylor has the cast list, but she is.
Miro.
I don't remember them ever saying her name. Either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember her name being mentioned. They're just kind of like, hey, you.
Yeah. But she's a lieutenant at the
Miro, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, she's part of the Empire.
Yeah, she's part of the Empire.
So she's part of the agency that is overtaking the corporation security people.
Yeah. And the particular part of the Empire that she's a part of is like
they're the part of the space FBI.
Yeah, basically, like they
Well,
kind
their
of
name is quite like it's not literally FBI, but it's Imperial Federal Bureau. So
Yeah.
it's
and their job is to oversee planets and make sure everything is going according to the plan.
yeah.
And
And then I think her
think-
particular department is like
it's like rebellion watch, basically.
something like that. Yeah.
Like it's her job to sniff out rebellions, basically,
But yeah,
and to quiet them. So she's a up and coming lieutenant. She's also female, so she doesn't really fit in with the command there, and she's trying to make a name for herself. She also is starting to pick up on a pattern that's not a pattern of things that are happening around the galaxy. And she thinks it's a organized rebellion coming to play, but her peers and her superiors do not believe her
yeah, because it's random.
because it's random.
it's
But like her
consistently
assistant says, it's too random to be random. Because that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean it could, but at the same time, does it?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Unless it is yes. But I thought it was really cool. She was talking about different things that she's picked up on. She talked about Kessel, which I'm pretty sure she's referring to Han Solo's escapades at Kessel that we see in the film Solo. I'm pretty sure that's what she's referring to.
The Kessel Run.
Yeah, the Kessel Run. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what she's referring to. Could be wrong. She also talks about Scarif, or that might be somebody else that talks about Scarif. But it's just, like, these are all little details that I was picking up on as people were talking that tie this show into the bigger picture of Star Wars. And I really like that. It makes me feel good on the inside, and she's an interesting one. I can't quite figure her out yet. I don't know if she's potentially a double agent or if she's just like a diehard.
I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up turning later on if given the opportunity.
Or if she's just one of those like females that's out to prove herself.
I don't see her as being Reva.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I don't think it's gonna be that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, was a Reva type character. So,
but yeah, this is the portion that I really enjoyed of. Completely different side, different type of show from Star Wars.
Right.
And I enjoy her character is like, it's a little rough in the beginning when she's first introduced,
Right.
but then as it goes on, she kind of like mellows out with her like attitude or whatever, and then it starts getting interesting. Her other like peers, of course, I mean they seem stereotypical to me, just being assholes. But then her commander seems like a pretty,
He seems
a pretty decent like person.
Yeah.
Like because he has a talk with her like, look, you're in a really tough situation to be in, and you kind of just have to.
But we brought you here because we like who you are.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to justify himself.
Yeah.
He was like, look, I wanted you to be here because I know how good of a officer or whatever you can be. And then she's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And it was like, look, just do what you got to do. Like, stay within, your, as best as you can, your lanes. But by all means, like, do what you're good at.
Yeah.
Just kind of letting her know that, like, he's not out to get her or anything.
Right. Because she tries to take over the investigation on Morlana 1 and
he kind of
Ferris.
stretches her reach a little bit, or at least
Just
tries
a little
to.
bit. She tries to, but the guy that is in charge of that sector is like, no.
Yeah, he shut it down. But then, like you said, he talked to her after.
Yeah. So I do agree with you, though, that I really like this part of the story, or just the show, because it gives us a look at the finer details of how the Empire operates. right? Now we know that like there's somewhat of a high. I mean, we knew there was a hierarchy of people, but like now we know there's a specific person in charge of a specific area, and like they are subject to the same kinds of office politics that go on in our military, like that we have in real life. Like, so it just, like you said in the beginning, it humanizes them and it humanizes the Empire and makes it more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I hope to see more. I hope to see more of how the Empire works and operates and is able to, for a quite long period of time, successfully rule the galaxy.
Yeah,
you know?
because obviously if it
Yeah,
did what it did, it had to have been doing
right.
pretty well.
I mean, for a good stretch of time, it was working.
Yeah,
Until our boy Luke.
until it didn't.
Yeah. Until our boy
But
Luke used the
space
Force.
wizards. So,
But I like it. I hope to see more of it.
yeah, I agree.
And then the final storyline we'll touch on. We finally get to see our space AKs. It's great to see. I know we talked about it during the trailer reaction, but it's great to see that even in this far out world that's completely fictional and completely, not real, it's nice to see that the weapon of choice of these ragtag rebels that live in the mountains is still an AK-47.
Yeah, it is a cool idea from that perspective, and at the same time, it's like,
Come on, it's Star Wars.
yeah. So yeah,
Star Wars.
for sure, it's cool. Like, it's been historically known, still to this day, the AK for some reason is just the weapon of choice of fighting oppression. For some reason,
I personally would have liked to see something different.
I don't mind that they use the AKs.
Yeah, like I'm not mad about it.
I just wish they dressed it up a little bit more. Just a little bit.
I make it so that it's kind of like just looks like an AK, like we could tell it's AK inspired, but it's not just an AK with a shorter mag and no stock.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I know that pretty much all the weapons in Star Wars are, like, for the most part, World War II based.
Yeah.
Because that's when he, wrote everything.
Yeah.
But the older weapons don't look aside from a few blasters.
I mean, Han's
most of
blaster is
like Han's,
Mauser.
That's a Mauser.
Yeah.
But like the Stormtrooper or clone, either one, their blasters, like they look nothing like what they were based off of. Because some of them are like the MG42 and stuff.
Or the SCG-44.
Yeah, doesn't look like it. That one does. I will say the Rebel ones kind of
a little bit.
Which maybe, I guess, maybe then it's consistent.
Yeah,
in that
but
case,
that's what I would have liked. There's something that I can kind of tell that it's based off of an AK, but it's not just literally an AK-47 with no stock and a shorter mag.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because it has like the collapsible stock bar,
but no
actual pad,
butt plate,
whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of floating there. That and it's just got a different looking magazine.
Yeah. I don't know. I that aside,
honestly, I think like the magazine is like one detail they should have just
left,
taken off.
Or
because most of the weapons that were originally designed don't have magazines.
Right. It's an
intentionally removed because they don't really reload in the movies.
It's a heating or it's an energy core that.
Yeah, I mean, in the video games, it's a little different. You actually do reload, but that again, they could have just taken that off,
right?
And I don't know, made the furniture look a little bit extra, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, super small thing. But
yeah, it is a small thing. I guess we just specifically. But the rest of this particular storyline is interesting. It's a ragtag team of individuals that have basically decided to go on a suicide run with the intention of hopefully pulling it off and dealing a major blow to the Empire. And they all have their own personal sob story of why they hate the Empire.
Yeah.
Right? and
They all want vengeance.
it's interesting. It's interesting to see the characters collide, especially Andor and Clem, as he's known to these people.
Yeah.
His undercover name is Clem, and then we have Sintra. This is Taramayan or something like that, and then this is Femic, right? The guy with the manifesto, and then Screen, right? Is his name or Skeen?
Which one?
This dude. Is it Skeen or Screen?
Skeen.
Skeen, no
That's
R.
his last name, yeah.
And then I know Sintra, I know Vel.
Cinta.
Oh, it's Cinta,
Yeah.
not Sintra. My bad, Cinta.
It's weird because, like, I don't know if they go by their first names all the time or some go by last names. And like,
Well, who's this? Femic? Is
This
that-
guy?
Yeah,
So this kid is Karis Nemec.
Nemec. It's Nemec, yeah. And then this is something. It's like Terra Mayan or something like that.
Yeah, Terramin
Terramin.
Barcono.
Yeah, Terramin.
Sounds
So-
like a mobster.
And then the leader of the group is Vel, which I don't have a picture of actually, but and then Andor, and then there's a Imperial lieutenant that is on their side as well, and he's their in, but they're putting together this plan of stealing a ship from a garrison on this planet and filling it with the payroll of the entire Imperial sector. I don't really know what stealing the payroll of the entire Imperial sector is going to do for the rebellion.
It's like a minor setback. I mean, I guess to them it's like huge because they're all broke. But to
So
the
is
Empire,
it like, are they like stealing money?
they're essentially stealing money. Yeah,
Ah.
because
Okay.
it's almost like gold, is what it looked like when there was a
Yeah,
quick
like I
shot.
saw the one shot they show of it, right?
Yeah, so
I thought
it's
they
just
literally
money.
were trying to steal like who's on the payroll.
Oh no!
And I was just like, what is
Yeah,
that
they're
going to do
stealing
for
the
you?
money.
Okay,
for
so
the
they're
payroll.
stealing the money. Got it. All right. And that's what I kind of like figured out towards the end of episode 5, but it took me a while to like realize that they weren't just trying to steal a list of names.
No, yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Just
Because
like, dude, you know
it's
how
like-
much people that probably is.
well, in my mind, I was just like, why? Like, what is that going to do for you? Like, why is that dealing a major blow to the
Yeah,
empire?
no, it's their money. But even it's money, like,
Is it
guess
really?
I don't know
This
how
is the-
big of a difference that's gonna make, but sure. I mean, it's a setback, but something, I guess.
Well, I mean, to these people, it's worth dying for.
Yeah.
So they have this elaborate plan that Andor is now part of.
The Wolverines.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
That's basically what this whole group is.
Red
It's just
Dawn.
the many Wolverines. And even the smallest tick can drive a big dog mad.
So it's going to be interesting. They're planning to steal the ship and the payroll. The lieutenant double agent guy is their way in, but their way out is probably something that I'm actually pretty excited for, just because they hype it up to be this incredible visual experience that
Oh, you're talking about like the whole
the meteor shower thing or
event
whatever it
thing,
is.
Yeah.
And I want to see it. Like they talk about it on a couple different occasions about how extravagant and like back in the
Yeah,
day,
it's like-
people from everywhere, like there was thousands of people that would gather in this specific spot just to watch it, and like even the Imperial guards, like the lieutenant was like, "Oh, we're gonna work tomorrow night during this event," and like the I don't know sergeants or whatever they are,
And they
they're
also look like they look like officers too, so I have no idea.
yeah, they're probably I don't know, they're an ensign, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. If we're going by Navy rank,
Yeah,
sure.
that's that. I don't know, but whatever. They're lower than the lieutenant, but higher than the grunts. And like they were like, "Oh, that would probably hurt morale, sir. Let's not do that because like
This
people
is the only thing people look forward to
to.
if they get stationed here.
Yeah. So like for me, I'm hype about it. Like I want to know what the hell this looks like.
It's like, oh, okay.
So like I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that they like actually do it. Like I want to see it. I hope that it's not.
I'm sure
just,
there's gonna. I don't know how much we're gonna see of it because the whole point of it is not. That's
Well,
just the cover,
right.
So really, we shouldn't be looking at it. We should be seeing them stealing whatever. But
they're also
I'm sure there's gonna
supposed
be
to fly through the eye of it in order to escape, and everything around it is supposed to protect them from TIE fighters and stuff. So we should see them at least flying through the eye.
I thought it was just distraction. Like
No. So if they were to just grab the shuttle and go, there's no way that they would be able to get out without alerting somebody. And as soon as somebody is alerted, they're going to let the airbase know that has the TIE fighters. And they were talking about how they've timed it. It takes 9 minutes for TIE fighters to get from the airbase to the garrison. And what they're going to do is they're going to time their launch of that ship shuttle thing through the eye of that meteor storm or whatever, so that any TIE fighters that are potentially trying to follow them are going to get caught in the storm around the eye, which is essentially, according to Nemec, is a bunch of crystals bursting up, which undoubtedly would probably destroy a TIE fighter trying to fly through it, because it's basically a little asteroid field. So they're using it as cover, but also as a means of getting away. And then once they're in their space, I guess they'll hit hyperdrive and see you. But I don't even know if that ship has a hyperdrive.
I doubt it.
But
it's supposed to be like a slow.
yeah, it's a transport ship,
like cargo carrier thing.
Either way, we should at least see it, and I'm looking forward to the visual aspect of it because
yeah, for sure,
it should be pretty dope.
Hopefully,
yeah. So there's a lot more little things that happen along the way, but a lot of them are inconsequential to me. Like the whole banter between Skiing and Andor, and then like
I don't
Andor telling
I'll say
them
overall the whole relationship or whatever between the group, I'm not really that into. It seems very weird and like forced sometimes, at least with Skeen.
I do agree with that,
because especially because it changes so drastically. Like the one scene, he's like, "Oh, you know this tattoo, yeah, blah blah blah," and they share that whole thing, and then she's like, "I still hate you, though."
Yeah,
like wait, what?
It's a little, it's confusing, and admittedly, Andor makes it confusing too, because like there's some points where he's like, seems like he's breaking down barriers and getting to know people, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Don't touch my stuff."
Yeah, it's just,
don't ever touch my stuff.
It's just weird. I don't really like the entire thing with them all together. The show in general, again, it's like it's almost giving me like C vibes, in the sense that like there's a lot of details that I like that they show, and then there's some things that just like get completely missed, and I'm like, why didn't you do this?
Yeah,
whatever.
Or why
so there's
did
like
you do this?
There's a scene where Taramyn is instructing or teaching Cassian or Clem of. He's like, "Hey, you're gonna be a soldier." Like they're all, gonna act like soldiers while they're infiltrating, whatever. So they're just preparing for the thing,
practicing, drilling.
And it's like, "Right, so do you know how to walk like a soldier?" And then he does this. Yeah, I've seen them all the time, and it's like, okay. And then he's like, "All right, let me see." And then he just does it. And it's like, "Nope, and I'm gonna teach you, blah blah blah." And they start doing this DNC crap.
Yeah,
it's really cringy. And it makes sense that it's there, but
it's cringy for us.
It's cringy. Well, it's cringy because not because of like I don't expect it to be perfect. It's just the differences between how Terriman acts and what is actually shown. So they do their little thing, right? And they like march or whatever. And it's like they're like, oh, you gotta like make sure you do blah blah blah, all these little things, and it's like, guys, and then he'll be like, oh, it seems like you still have a lot to learn, bro. It seems like you still have a lot to learn. Like there's so like, again, this is probably just being real nitpicky, but they're marching, right, and they look stupid. They're kind of sort of in unison or whatever. They're all holding their weapons in completely random directions.
I thought that was hilarious.
So I guess that detail was missed. I guess you didn't realize that, even though that's how they walk all the time, because, uniformity and all. And then on top of that, their uniforms, like he puts his coat on. He's like, we'll make a soldier out of you. Yeah, shut up, bro. Like, just stop, please. But it's annoying because they bring it up, right? And he's like, oh, you should be on that side. Because he's like, why? And then they make this whole big thing out of it. And he's like, why? And he's like, oh, because you're right-handed. And then she's like, oh, what am I? Right-handed, left-handed. And it's like, so it adds to Cassian, right? Where it's like, oh, he noticed all these things.
He could tell, yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. But then it's like, oh, that's a cool detail. But again, why are their weapons just randomly pointed at each other all the time anyways? Yeah, it's whatever.
No, I hear you. To the layperson, nobody's gonna care, but to the people like us that come from a military background, or at least know, it is annoying, and it can detract from the scene because you're focused on
from these characters and what they're doing.
Yeah, you're focused on these details that were missed and are displayed inappropriately, and you lose the ambiance of the scene and what it's supposed to mean, because you're like, why are two people's guns pointed inward and two people's guns pointed outward, like, or what the hell are you guys doing? Like,
yeah. But even their uniforms, like, you only had a coat, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what a uniform is? Like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
And what is everybody else wearing? The same thing? You just all look like a bunch of hobos wearing, like, there's a homeless guy probably down the road that probably has more of a uniform than them. Like, but yeah, it's whatever. Like I said, I don't really care for this whole group. That and the whole scene where the lieutenant and Val and Cassian are talking, and they're like, so how do we steal this ship?
Oh my gosh!
And it's like
how do we?
You seriously telling me?
How do we account for weight, or how do we input the weight?
Yeah, you're just like, bro, you're giving this guy so much crap, but you've been here for years or whatever,
months,
whatever,
but
long time. You're an officer in the Empire. You are literally in command of this area, and you have no idea how to operate this crap.
No, that wasn't the lieutenant. It was Terman and Vel in there. You're talking about the scene where he has to explain to them how to input the weight in order to correctly launch the ship.
Yeah, wasn't that the lieutenant?
Yeah, no, it was Terman. It was Terman and Vel in there. The lieutenant wasn't in there. But still,
either way,
agree
you've been
with you,
literally surveying this site for so long, and you don't know this?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You couldn't get that information.
This guy here,
Yeah.
he's the only one who apparently takes his job seriously and made this immaculate miniature remake of this entire place.
Yeah.
But everybody else is just like, I don't know. What do we do? What do you mean? Why are you going to act like you're so much better than this guy and you do nothing?
Yeah.
Who are you? Why are you here?
Why are you here? No, I agree. That scene was pretty cringy.
I mean, even like, Cassian obviously responds like that. I'm like, I totally understand. What is this? What is going on? You all act like you're the rebellion. I am the rebellion. No, you're nothing. Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, you could. I actually love that scene because of that. Because it was just great to see Andor or Clem just be like, "Are you serious right now? Like you just have no idea. Like you don't know how to leave. You don't know how to launch this thing, do you? Like you don't know.
The fact that you've
been here this long and you don't know. Like, oh my god! And he's like, I'm fine. Like, I'm gonna do this.
No.
If it's my ass.
That's why it's so irritating, because you're like, oh, can we trust you? Can you do this job?
Like, dude, I'm the only one that can do it,
stop.
apparently.
He is literally the job. He does everything. You can just die. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, nobody cares about you.
You can be an additional distraction. But like I said, it's fine because it kind of just boosts Cassian, but I already loved him. And so, like, it makes sense. It just makes me more irritated with all these characters. And I know that, like, I'm pretty sure none of them are dying.
I don't know. I could see some of them die.
I want all of them to die.
I could see Nemec die. So that they
probably,
put out
that makes sense.
manifesto.
He's probably the best because he's the best character.
Right.
The rest of them suck or are useless.
So they're gonna have to like, kill Nemec in order to
or whatever, and have this horrible backstory.
Yeah.
And of course, the best character's got to die. But is that really a Disney thing?
She wants me to tell you about my brother.
Yeah, that's as best of an apology as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
That scene caught me off guard. I was like, why is he apologizing? Like, he exposed Andor. Like, he exposed him for what he was. Like, why are you apologizing? Like,
I mean, it doesn't even make sense, like, how he did that. Like, how he got to expose. Like, it's, again, it just kind of contradicted the before where it's like, oh, we shared this moment.
Yeah, you know my tattoos. Like,
ha ha! A kyber crystal.
Yeah. I agree with you. There's definitely some things that this show needs to flesh out a little bit more, and it's a little. There are some rough edges for sure, but I think even in this episode too, didn't it have some? It had some screen time for what's that other lieutenant? The security guy that got fired. Oh yeah, so that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. But this show has some rough edges for sure, but I think the major story plot and the things that are happening, like the major things that are happening, are all headed in a good direction. I just hope that they can tie it up and make it good. And then the last thing that I just wanted to kind of talk about was this guy. This picture is super grainy.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he got fired. The incident on Ferrix and his overreaching and his attempt to control it.
I won't say overreaching. It was just...
Well, okay, so his botched attempt to control what happened on Ferrix got him, his supervisor, his sergeant, and basically everybody else fired.
I mean, the entire corporation basically got disbanded, at least in this particular sector.
Yeah, I mean, he literally says, congratulations, you're the one that made the Empire take over this section.
Yeah.
And you guys will no longer be the Force. And then he goes home to Coruscant, right?
I think so.
I think it's Coruscant, where his mom is. And goes home to his mom, and his mom is the, like, typical...
From this point on, I'm not liking this character anymore. He's completely changed, and I don't really... I know it's going to change later, because they show, he's like, I'm not going to give up this, and he has the little thing, and he's, like, obsessed with Cassian, and he's like, I'm going to find you.
We get my...
I Joe.
It's...
But this whole scene with his mom,
weird.
It's very weird.
It's a little weird. It's a little extra, and he's acting like a little sad baby the entire time.
He's a little bitch.
And then he sits in his room on his bed, staring at the wall, and then he pulls out this little hall projector of Cassian Andor.
Yeah, and the thing is about this entire scene is like, it honestly makes sense to me, but it's just I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't need to either.
Like I can already, like, his character already gives off that vibe.
Weird,
so I don't want to actually see it on screen.
Yeah.
Because it just makes it even worse, you know?
You could have skipped all of that stuff and later on in the show just brought him back out of the blue, and like this whole time he's been...
you literally could have just had that one shot when he's just sitting at home and he just brings up the hologram of him looking at Cass. That's all you need.
I don't need to see the whole mom thing,
because it doesn't
humanize him anymore.
It doesn't. add anything.
Yeah, it doesn't add any
important
depth
me
to his
for him.
character.
Like, oh,
He's the
great.
same.
He's an idiot. His family are a bunch of idiots, and it makes sense why he is the way he is.
Yeah, I agree. It's it wasn't
But I
necessary.
mean, it makes sense because it's adding details or whatever to it, but it's just stupid.
His mom.
Well,
The actress.
Actually, isn't it? It's like his aunt, isn't it?
No, it said mom.
Oh,
right?
it is his mom?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's his mom.
I couldn't remember.
But
Because I know they talk about one of his uncles.
the actress, she's pretty sure she's the old lady from The Longest Yard, the warden's secretary. Right?
I don't know. Let me check.
Yeah, try to see if you can pull it up because I think that
Wouldn't she be like hella old?
She was, but she looks pretty old in this too. It actually wasn't me who noticed that. It was actually my wife that noticed that. If it's true, if it's not, she looks pretty close. But I just was curious. I didn't look it up yet, but yeah, it was kind of a cringy storyline that isn't really necessary. I would have rather just seen him get fired, seen some kind of scene or shot showing that he doesn't want to give up on finding Andor, and then later on in the season, bring him back as this unexpected obstacle that Cassian has to deal with. And that to me would have been a better arc for this character instead of trying to create this whole backstory for him that I don't care about. Like, I don't care that he has an uncle that...
Is it this lady?
Let me see.
I don't really remember what she looks like.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'll look it up later, but yeah, I don't think it was necessary for this. So
Yeah. I agree. I wasn't a big fan of it. Kind of ruined his character a little bit to me.
yeah, I would agree.
But
with you.
I know, or at least I hope that it'll change in the future, which it looks like it will.
It will eventually. So
It's just because of his no longer involvement for that little bit of time, which is just stupid.
alrighty. Anything else you want to talk about for Andor?
No, I mean, I think that's pretty much about it.
All right. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna continue to watch it. I don't have anything grossly bad with it.
No.
I'm hopeful for some cool things to happen in the coming episodes. I think there will be. But I'm pretty chill about this show. It's decent.
I will say, if this whole plan thing does not happen in this next episode, I'm going to be irritated.
As far as pacing goes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with you that
There's
this
no
whole plan thing
nothing
should
they can
not be
do
the final.
that can possibly drag this out any more
Yeah.
than being executed next episode.
Yeah, it
now,
should
if
be.
it takes like 2 episodes to finish it, sure, but it needs to actually begin the very next episode.
I would agree with you on that. This should not be, this plan of stealing the payroll should not be the final climax of the season.
Right.
They should not be drawing it out to the end of the season. So, but that does beg the question: what will be the
True, because after that, then it
what else is there? Which I don't know. Maybe we get to see Darth Vader. I don't know.
Okay. That's
I don't know. I mean, hey,
I guess it could be just a real quick, like
Like a
just
cameo
him
kind of-
staring out
yeah.
the window.
I don't know.
So,
But we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. What did you guys think of episode 4 and 5 of
Qui-Gon
Andor?
Jinn? No.
What did you guys think of these episodes? Did you enjoy them? Are you enjoying the show? If not, let us know why. What is it about this show that you're not enjoying? Because it seems like the general population online and stuff are enjoying the show.
Yeah.
So it's getting some good reviews, some good praise. So if you don't like the show, let us know why down in the comments below. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for all the love, the support you guys have been giving us recently. We really appreciate all the views, likes, comments, all that good stuff, and we hope for more. We hope to hear from you guys more often. So, with that being said, please like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. Check out our social media, anykinemedia cast on Instagram and Twitter. One of these days I'll get that right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye, guys.